Build courage in small actions is a principle that emphasizes how true strength is not forged in rare moments of grand bravery, but in the ordinary choices and quiet steps we take every single day. Many people believe courage is only about heroic acts, monumental decisions, or dramatic displays of fearlessness, but in reality, courage grows quietly in the background of daily life. It develops not through extraordinary events, but through ordinary actions. Speaking up when your voice trembles, choosing honesty over comfort, trying something new despite uncertainty, or taking one more step forward when your mind urges you to stop. Courage is not something you wait for. It is something you build, piece by piece, in small actions that slowly expand your capacity to face greater challenges. Fear is part of every human life. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act even in its presence. Small actions provide the safest ground to practice this truth. When you confront minor fears, discomforts, or doubts, you train your mind and heart to respond with resilience instead of retreat. Each small courageous act becomes a deposit in the bank of inner strength, and over time, those deposits accumulate into a wealth of confidence. Just like a muscle grows stronger through repeated use, courage grows through repetition. You do not suddenly become courageous in a crisis. You prepare for courage in crisis by building it every day in small acts of persistence and faith. Building courage in small actions teaches you to trust yourself. Each time you make a difficult choice, whether it is saying no to something that does not serve you, admitting a mistake, or daring to pursue a dream, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling life's demands. This trust becomes a foundation for larger acts of bravery, because you begin to believe in your own ability to face fear and still move forward. When the bigger challenges appear, you already have evidence from your smaller actions that you can endure, adapt, and rise. Without this practice, fear can overwhelm you, but with it, you have already trained yourself to respond with courage. The beauty of courage built in small actions is that it becomes part of your character, not just a response to rare circumstances. For example, courage is found in being consistent with your habits, even when it is easier to give in to laziness. It is in having the discipline to work on your dreams despite doubt. It is in forgiving someone when resentment feels easier, or extending kindness in a world that sometimes rewards harshness. These may not look like grand gestures to others, but they are acts of inner bravery because they resist the pull of fear, pride, or comfort. Over time, these repeated small actions transform you into a person of quiet but unshakable strength. Courage also grows by embracing discomfort. Small actions such as introducing yourself to someone new, sharing your opinion in a meeting, or learning a skill that intimidates you may seem minor, but each act stretches your comfort zone. The more you practice stretching, the larger your comfort zone becomes. Life rarely gives sudden opportunities to display courage without warning. Instead, it constantly offers small invitations to step out of familiarity. If you accept those invitations, you will be prepared for larger tests when they arrive. Courage built daily in small actions prepares you for the storms of life, the way consistent exercise prepares an athlete for competition. Another important truth is that courage is contagious, and your small actions can inspire others. When you choose to take a step forward despite fear, you give silent permission for others to do the same. Courage is not always loud. It may be the quiet decision to keep going when no one else does, to speak truth when silence is expected, or to try when failure seems certain. These choices, though small, ripple outward. A single act of courage can set an example that encourages others to rise above their fears. And in this way, small courageous actions not only build your strength, but also strengthen the world around you. Building courage daily also protects you from regret. Fear often whispers that it is safer to stay still, to avoid risk, or to wait for the perfect moment. But those choices lead to missed opportunities. Regret grows in the absence of courage, but fulfillment grows in its presence. When you train yourself to take small, courageous actions, you create a life filled with attempts, experiences, and growth instead of what-ifs. It is better to stumble forward with courage than to stay stuck with regret. Over time, the accumulation of small, brave steps builds a life you can look back on with pride rather than disappointment. Courage also demands honesty with yourself. Sometimes the most courageous action is to admit your own weaknesses, to confront your fears instead of pretending they do not exist. A small action such as journaling about your insecurities, seeking help when you need it, or facing uncomfortable truths about your habits requires bravery. These steps may not be visible to the world, but they are powerful because they build inner integrity. By practicing courage privately, you strengthen yourself for public challenges. The courage to face yourself is often the hardest, but it is also the most transformative. It is important to recognize that courage is not perfection. Building courage in small actions means accepting that you may stumble, fail, or feel afraid along the way. But courage is not about flawless execution. It is about choosing to try anyway. Each small action, even imperfect, contributes to your growth. Over time, those imperfect steps compound into resilience and mastery. The key is not to wait until you feel fearless, because fear rarely disappears. The key is to move forward with fear still present, proving to yourself again and again that you are stronger than your doubts. Ultimately, courage is built the same way success is, through consistent, intentional effort. It is not an event, but a habit. Every time you choose courage in small actions, you lay a stone on the path toward becoming a braver, stronger, and freer version of yourself. Life will always present challenges that require courage, but those who have built it daily are ready to meet those challenges with grace. By focusing on the small, you prepare for the great. By daring in little ways, you prepare for the big leaps. And by practicing courage daily, you turn fear into a companion rather than a master.